Hi, I'm Keith Pooler and I'm here at Bergamot Restaurant and we're going to be making Romesco sauce. So to start off with your Romesco sauce, what you have is you have some crushed tomato, and you want to get a tomato that has no basil in it because the basil will just impart flavor that you don't want. We're going to be adding basil onto it later. So you just put it right in a container. You can use a casserole dish, you can use anything that's oven proof. And you got the crushed red tomato. You have some fresh tomato. In the summertime, you can use some cherry tomatoes, whatever tomatoes are growing in the garden. And you have a little bit of red bell pepper, and the red bell pepper and yellow bell pepper. If you even have green bell pepper, you can put it in, but not necessary for the recipe. You have a little bit of sliced garlic, about 3 cloves. That'll go right in. And then you have a little bit of one red onion that's cut, rough cut. Everything is rough cut. This recipe is designed to be very easy. You have a little bit of red jalapeno, just one. This is what's going to bring some heat to the whole dish. And you have some scallions, and you want to use the bottom part of the scallions. The bottom part of the scallions will withhold the heat and the temperature for the hour and a half that it cooks for. So you're going to toss that all in. And the last ingredient, well, one of the last ingredients is crushed red pepper. This is different than the crushed red pepper flakes that you see in the grocery store. This item you'll see in like the condiment, like the olive section, the pickle section, and this also is very hot. So a couple spoons will do it. You just toss it right in, and then you're going to give it all a good stir. Just make sure it mix everything up, and it's all going to roast and break down and melt. All the flavors are going to melt together. And this is not a science. If you don't have an ingredient, you can omit it and still go with it. It'll just have a different flavor at the end. A little extra virgin olive oil, some salt, some fresh pepper. So now I'm going to take it and put it in a 350-degree oven for about an hour and a half. And right before I take it out, I'm going to leave it uncovered, so everything's going to start to get a little bit of color. And right before I take it out, 5 minutes before I finish, I'm going to add some basil, some thyme, and some almonds to it. So here we have the Romesco sauce that just came out of the oven. And as you can tell, all the vegetables have cooked down and they melted all together. And this is where it's going to be very fragrant right when it comes out of the oven. And we're going to do the last touches to it before it goes back into the oven for about 5 minutes. What we have here is we have some Marcona almonds that I toasted in the oven 300 degrees for about 5 minutes. You can use just shelled regular almonds, but we have them at the restaurant, so we just go right in, and this is all going to get tossed in a minute. Some fresh thyme. If you don't have fresh thyme, you can use dry thyme, but when you use dried herbs, just use less. This is about a tablespoon or 2, and then you have a little bit of fresh basil. And that's all going to get tossed in. The reason why we're doing this at the last minute is so the basil doesn't burn. It incorporates but does not burn. And that's going to get all tossed together once again. And you can really see the vibrant color. And then we're going to finish it up in 5 minutes or so. So the Romesco sauce has just come out of the oven. We got about 5 minutes of it cooking with the basil and the almonds and the thyme, and this is the point where we're going to robo-coop it, check it for seasoning, and then at this point it's going to be aerating it, and you're going to want to get it all in the robo-coop. And all the vegetables have been cooked for an hour and a half in the oven, so they're all broken down, nice and soft, so it's going to puree rather nicely. And so we're just going to turn the robo-coop on for The only crunch you're going to hear is the almonds as it goes through. So we're going to give it a little taste, make sure seasoning's good. And we're going to go back and, oh, a little spicy. I like mine a little spicy, but if you don't, you can add a little bit less jalapeno and crushed red pepper. But I like the spice because it goes well with a lot of things. But too spicy, you're just killing your guests. And there we go. We're going to put a little. It also goes really well with bread. I like to dip it with bread. This is how we serve it at the restaurant, but you can serve it with many other things.